What's up everyone, KitaSean here. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about Shuten Douji, the new 5-star assassin that will be coming out to later today for the English version of FGO alongside the Rashomon event. Now Shuten Douji is a very unique assassin, and I wanted to talk about her a little bit because I know a lot of you guys are going to be rolling for her because I mean she's a new servant, she's a new assassin, she's a loli that likes to drink. For some reason you guys like that, I don't know why, but she's a very unique assassin, and I don't want you guys to use her wrong because I know eventually a lot of you guys will be using her as just like any normal servant, but she's actually a very unique servant, and then there's actually a specific way to use her. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about her. We're gonna break her down, talk about her stats, her skills, her noble phantasm, what teams you should bring her in, what's her main role, what's the either good for her, and of course my personal opinion. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Shuten Douji. So starting off with Shuten Douji's stats, so Shuten actually has the highest attack stat for assassins at 11,993. Even today in the JP version, she still holds that title. Her HP 12,825 is very low for 5-star servants, but normal for assassins because they lack in HP anyways. But going back to the attack stat, honestly I don't know why she has the highest attack stat for assassins. You would think that KitaSean would hold that title, but he doesn't. Maybe it's because she's an Oni ogre, that's why she has that attack power. Because they are considered really strong, but I doubt that's the reason why. Maybe it's because of the lack of damage her noble phantasm does, which we'll get into more details later, but because her noble phantasm does so low damage, maybe it's trying to make up for that damage, I don't know. But yeah, I really don't understand why she has a really high attack, because she's not an attacking assassin, she's actually a support assassin, which we'll get into more details once we get to her skills and her noble phantasm. But yeah, it just confuses me on why she has such high attack for an assassin. Shuten's deck has 2 quicks, 2 arts, a buster. Her MP gain is 0.55 on attack, which is pretty decent. Her star rate is 25%, so above average. And then her quick card does 4 hits, her arts card does 3 hits, her buster does 1, extra attack does 6. So she has a decent amount of MP gain because of the arts and the extra attack hits. And then a pretty above average star generation rate because of the quick card does 4 hits. So on to Shuten Douji's skills. So her first skill, Alcoholic Fruit A, has a chance to inflict charm for a turn to both male and female servants. It's 60% flat, level 1 through 10, and then it also has decreased defense for 3 turns, which is something that you want for a support servant. Level 1, 10%, and level 10, 20%. Now Demon King Magic A increases the attack of all allies for 3 turns, which again is something that you want for a support servant. 10% at level 1, 20% at level 10, and then it also has increased own MP strength for 3 turns. Honestly, I don't think she needed this, but at the same time she did, I guess, because her MP lacks damage, so definitely this will help her do more damage with her MP, obviously. But the reason why I don't think she needed this is because the type of MP that she has. But putting that aside, we'll talk about that later once we get to the MP. But level 1, 10%, and level 10, 20% for the increased attack of all allies, and 20% at level 1 and 30% at level 10 for increased own MP strength. And then her third skill, Battle Continuation A+, apply Guts for 1 time for 5 turns, is definitely something that she needed for a support servant, because I mean, you want them to stay alive. Like, this could have been evade, this could have been invincibility, doesn't matter. As long as she stays alive, it's totally fine. And this heals 1,200 at level 1 and 2,700 at level 10. And then her class skills, presents Concealment C, increases critical star drop rate by 6%. She gets a lot of star generation like that as well, so definitely really good. And then Divinity C, apply damage plus 150, which I guess you would need because again she lacks damage when it comes to her noble phantasm. So finally, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the noble phantasm, Senshi Banko Shinpen Kidoku, an arts AoE noble phantasm, and it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Level 1, 450%, level 5, 750%, so very low damage rate there. This is again my assumption, but I think this is the reason why they gave her the high attack stat for her class. Of course the second skill as well, so that they can increase her damage when it comes to the noble phantasm, but the main focus isn't to inflict damage with his noble phantasm, it's actually to inflict all the debuffs. So it slightly decreases debuff resist, defense, attack, MP strength, critical hit rate for 3 turns. It also inflicts skill seal for a turn, inflict poison damage for 5 turns. Depending on overcharge, it will increase, you know, the poison damage there. But Yeah, the main focus isn't to deal damage, and this Noble Phantasm works very well with Shuten's first skill because, I mean, it decreases the debuff resist, so you can have a higher chance to use Charm on the next turn, and of course it stacks up defense debuff as well by 20%, so that's 30% total, and of course if you have any other servants that do some kind of debuff, you can stack all that as well. But this works very well for setting up the next turn, because next turn you can use your main attacking servants with their Noble Phantasm. That's also including Shuten's second skill that increases strength, and if your other servants have some kind of buff on their MP or their attack, then you can do a whole lot of damage, because again, this the defense is decreased for the enemy servant. So this does a lot of damage if you can increase the strength on your Noble Phantasms for all your other servants except for Shuten. But Shuten is actually one of those servants where she can't do this all alone. She needs help from other servants as well. So she can't be the only support servant in your team. So we're going to go ahead and talk about teams now. So again, Shuten Douji is a support servant. Unfortunately, she can't do this all alone. She definitely needs another support servant in order to help her out, and I believe Tamamo no Mae is one of those servants. Tamamo no Mae is an arch servant herself. She has 3 arch cards in her deck, allowing it to get a higher chance of arch chain so that you can get the MP gain off the roof. You have Curse EX to stall, which Shuten works very well in those type of teams. You also have Fox's Wedding EX, which increases the arch performance, so Shuten's MP will do a little bit more damage, and of course Tamamo's MP, which allows to increase defense, restore HP to keep Shuten alive a little bit longer, and she can also get some MP gain with her overcharge. And another servant that works very well with Shuten is Janna d'Arc, because I mean, like Tamamo, she's an arch servant. She has 3 arch cards, so arch chain is going to go off the roof there. She also has Divine Judgment, so she can stall. She has her Noble Phantasm, which again stall with invincibility, increase defense, and restore HP. So basically she's like Tamamo. Then we also have Waver or Zhugliang, another support servant. He can use his skills to increase the MP for Shuten and other teammates. You can also use his arts Noble Phantasm as well to decrease charge of all enemies. So another stall, inflict curse, medium chance to stun. So yeah, you can just keep stunning or keep stalling with these servants in order for Shuten to blow her MP on the enemy servants. But Shuten is actually a very interesting servant. Like I said, she can actually generate a lot of stars, so she works very well for servants like Shiki Assassin, even Saber, Emiya Assassin, so a lot of arch servants like Orion too, so works very well in those arch crit teams. Now if you really want to put a buster servant in there, you can probably put like Gilgamesh or Karna. Robin Hood actually works pretty well too, but you probably want to again put another support servant in there as well to help Robin Hood out, and Shuten. But Shuten again works very well in those type of teams. So the best CE for Shuten Douji in my opinion is 2030, because it increases critical stars, and I believe as a support you want that. Now if you don't have 2030, it's okay, you can use any other CEs like that increases arch performance, so formal craft or even projection. But I honestly don't really think you should put any CE that increases MP per turn. I just think that's a waste of a slot. So anything that gives arch performance or any gain of critical stars will definitely be really good for Shuten Douji. So my honest opinion on Shuten Douji is that she's very unique. I mean, I've been saying this ever since she was first released in the JP version. She's very unique, but it's also the bad thing about her. I mean, her Noble Phantasm is what makes her shine, but also makes her look bad, because you're going to see a lot of servants in the long run with those same abilities from her Noble Phantasm on their skills, and you want to use those skills kind of like right away so that you can beat these quests a lot faster. You can take care of these bosses with a lot of HP right away. So and again, it takes a pretty good time to get her Noble Phantasm up, unless you have, you know, like Kaleidoscope or anything like that up. But in a way, like, she also needs another support to support her as well in order to make her work very well. So I just don't think support servants should have another support helping them. I think they should be able to take care of the other 2 servants when it comes to battle. Now, a thing that's also good about Shuten is her voice actress Yuki Aoi. That's already worth the role right there. I think she's like my favorite, one of my favorite voice actresses of all times right now, or at least in just generation. She gives Shuten a very, very nice voice, a very sexy voice, and I do like Shuten's backstory as well. So in a way, I love her character. But when it comes to the tier list, I don't think Shuten is worth the role at all. But I mean, if you like those gimmicky type servants, then definitely she is probably a servant that you're gonna like a lot. But as a support, I just don't think she's worth the role at all. But I mean, I'm not stopping you guys from rolling for her. I mean, I do want her as well as a character. I'm probably going to use her every now and then as a support. But I've been using friend support Shuten for a while now because I don't personally have her. It just doesn't feel right for some reason. I mean, she lacks damage, of course, when it comes to her noble phantasm. But I just think there are a whole bunch of other better supports out there. I mean, you can just use Tamamo by herself as a support. You can use Waver, you can use Jannu, and etc. Like other support casters later on. So yeah, Shuten Douji, not really worth the role as a tier servant, but as a character, as a gimmicky servant, I think she's definitely worth the role. But again, if you're going to use her as a tier wise, or if you're going to use her tier wise, then probably stay away from her. Even today in the JP version, she's considered one of the worst servants right now. I hope they give her a buff in the JP version because she hasn't had a buff yet. I hope they do something about her noble phantasm. Definitely they gotta increase the damage on that. Buff wise, I think they could do something about that as well. I don't exactly know what, but in the long run, I think Shuten Douji is not going to be worth the role. But again, if you like her as a character, if you like her as a gimmicky servant, then definitely roll for her. But yeah, that's about it for Shuten Douji. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped a little bit. Again, I'm not the best when it comes to reviews and stuff like that. That's why I don't do them as much. If you do want some like reviews on the event that's coming up, Rashomon, I think G&A Review has a video up. Other than that, you can just look up the wiki pages and stuff. They tell you everything. But G&A Reviews does like awesome job when it comes to reviews like of these events, these servants. I think he does an amazing job on those. So definitely check him out. I'll leave a link down below for his channel. But other than that, that is about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Laters.